What is up, guys? I'm Django Fett, Django with a D, of course, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. And today I'm doing a movie review of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This review contains no spoilers for this movie, but spoilers for the first movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And if you haven't seen my review for it, I've been waiting for this movie since the first movie came out, and I was a big fan of the first movie, aka Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Now, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is set 10 years after Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And for the humans, it was 4 years fighting the virus, 4 years fighting with each other, and then 2 years living in peace. Or so they say. So let's start with the brief setup into this movie, then I'll discuss the pros of this movie. So Caesar is a revered and respected leader of the ape community, and the apes have lived in peace for over 10 years, and without any human contact whatsoever. And he now has a family with a wife and 2 sons. But that's all gonna change because they're gonna get in contact with humans, and then things start escalating really quickly. So guys, this review is actually going to be a little bit longer than my usual movie reviews because I'm absolutely going to gush over this movie. Just wanted to let you guys know it's going to be a little bit longer than my usual movie reviews. So let's start with the pros of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. First of all, the CGI. I'm wordless because this CGI is like the best I've ever seen in such a long time. It's motion capture done by exceptional actors like Andy Serkis, and then it's recreated into CGI. Actors are actually turned into the CGI apes, and I've never seen CGI this great since Avatar first came out. Yeah, that movie just revolutionized the CGI industry in a good and bad way. I mean, ever since Avatar came out, there hasn't been a movie since that has been comparable to Avatar. But I have to say, this movie is very much up to par with Avatar. The apes in this movie I thought were real apes. I'm not kidding you. They were so real that I couldn't tell it was CGI. I couldn't tell at all. You could see the hairs, the scars, the blood on the fur. The blood just dropped down from their fur. That blew me away. And that CGI is beyond anything I have ever seen. Ever. And also the action sequences are pretty mind-blowing. The movie is an emotional ride. From happy to sad to angry. This movie really kept you on the edge. The whole movie. The story deals with the apes who have really advanced into a tribal community in the past 10 years, which is an amazing achievement considering it took us humans hundreds and even thousands of years to achieve what the apes have done. But the story with the apes deals with Caesar as the leader, dealing with the power struggle, as well as the humans who want to use the dam to power, their community. But the humans have to get through the apes who live there to use the dam. And the humans have to negotiate with the apes in 3 days, otherwise all-out war will start between the apes and the humans. So yeah, the overall story is freaking brilliant. I love the bonding between the humans and the ape characters. When you see these bonding moments between these characters, you really wanted both groups to, achieve peace and just thrive together and just live together in harmony. You really did. I want to also mention that the ape civilization doesn't randomly all of a sudden speak, clear spoken English. Like, you know what they say, human see, human do. It's more of a realistic take. They communicate through sign language. Then as the humans appear and start speaking, soon they start speaking, but only through a broken, English dialect. Caesar is like the only one that can speak English very clearly, but that's because he was raised by, James Franco's character. Also, the characters are very memorable in this movie, and each have a unique personality behind them. And you absolutely care about each and every one of these characters, even the villains at times. Caesar, of course, is the main star in this film, played by Andy Serkis, who does an absolute epic award-winning stuff right there. And he definitely has my vote for Best Actor of 2014. Period. And it's gonna take a lot for me to choose someone else at this point, because his performance, I don't know anybody else who can knock his performance as Caesar. I can't. I really can't. And forget the Academies and Oscars, because those hags will not even freaking consider him, despite his freaking performance. But us, the YouTubers, need to recognize Andy Serkis and Caesar and nominate Andy Serkis in the YouTubers Awards for Best Actor. I'm dead serious. We need to do that, you guys. We need to do that. Also, Koba, that was the main villain in this film. Not so much Gary Oldman, who everyone thought would be the villain. But guess what? Koba, wow. He's just an awesome villain in this film. He has an extreme hate for all the humans, for what they did to him in the labs, by giving him the scars, pretty much. You know, they didn't really explain much about him in the first movie when he was shown, like, towards the end. But in the second movie, you get a brief mention of it. It's not shown, but it's talked about by Koba. And you really understand from his point and his hate for the humans, but not to take it to the extreme that he takes it to, with violence. And another thing this movie does well, unlike the first movie, is that there is a strong antagonist in this film. Antagonist as in villain. And something I complained about in the first movie. Koba fills that role exceptionally well, and just a plain badass. Also, a returning character many people do not know about is Maurice the orangutan from the first movie. He is the best friend of Caesar from the very beginning. And you know, he doesn't like the humans at first because he was constantly mocked by them, because he was raised in a circus and, you know, constantly, you know, made fun of by the humans. And he's like Koba in a way, because both were imprisoned by the humans, but Maurice doesn't take it to that extreme that Koba does. Maurice just has his doubts about humanity, but he's curious at the same time. Maurice starts to become curious with one of the human group characters and starts to bond with him, and eventually defends and likes this, you know, the characters, the human characters. And it was a great moment to see him bond with the other human character. It was a great, powerful moment right there. And it was just great to see humans and apes befriend each other, despite the tensions between both groups. You know, after Caesar, Maurice was my favorite. I mean, Koba was badass. He was just a strong villain. But Maurice, I like Maurice. Maurice was awesome. He was a kind, you know, noble ape character, and you really felt for him. Also, Blue Eyes. He is the son of Caesar and is a teenager and trying to decide whether to side with, you know, his father or Koba. You know, he's really at odds. And two human characters, Jason Clarke and Kerry Russell, did their parts very well. Jason Clarke especially. I thought he was a better version of James Franco's character in the first movie, of the caretaking neutral character who, you know, befriended the apes and wanted to find a middle ground between the humans and the apes. And just the bond between Jason Clarke's character was the strongest in this movie by far. I really felt for both groups, but my vote goes to the apes. And I really wanted to see the apes take down those freaking humans for some odd reason. Maybe because I'm a bit of a misanthrope? Who knows? And those are all the pros. And I know that's a lot of pros for this movie so far. I might be missing some more pros. Oh well. I think I named the majority as it is. Now let's discuss the cons of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I'm really trying to find something wrong about this movie, but it's really hard. But Gary's Oldman character, who is awesome, no doubt about it, when featured, and clearly, you know, not the ultimate villain that everyone thought he was. I wouldn't say he was a villain in this movie. He was just trying to defend the humans as best as possible. And yeah, I don't know. I can't consider him as a villain. But I feel like he wasn't shown enough, because he was awesome, without a doubt. But he just wasn't shown enough. I wish he was shown just a little bit more, but oh well. Then there was a couple of story flaws in this movie, with some characters disappearing for some odd reason, and just the human group just vanishing without a trace, and you have no idea where they went. And there is no clear explanation behind it. And yeah, that's about it, because I really can't find anything wrong at this point. So I think you guys know where I'm going with this, and there's no question that I have to give this movie a 5 out of 5. This is a must-see movie experience, and you have to see it in theaters. You have to see it in theater. And this is probably one of the few times I'm promoting this, but see it in 3D. And not only see it in 3D, but see it in IMAX. And just see it in the most ultimate, 3D, theater experience you can get. I watched it in 2D and loved it, but I cannot imagine how epic, how awesome this movie would be in IMAX. I was already blown away by this movie and how beautiful this movie was, but imagine in IMAX, oh boy, yeah, no question it would just blow everything out of the water. It would just be like another Avatar experience with IMAX. I saw Avatar in IMAX. It was the best theater experience ever. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is made for IMAX, and you should really see it in IMAX. Even though it's a lot of money, definitely consider it, because this is one of the most beautiful movies you will ever see. And I'm not just saying from a story point, but just from, just a visual point as well. Everything about this movie is great, and Andy Serkis does an epic performance of his life and deserves to be nominated for a bunch of awards. He might not win them, but he deserves to be nominated at least. And a lot of people are saying this and comparing it to these movies, and I totally agree. A lot of people are going to say it like this. But this movie is the Dark Knight to the Batman Begins. It's the Empire Strikes Back to the New Hope. Everything about this second Planet of the Apes film is just made in a greater fashion than the first movie. It's better than the first movie in every way possible. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. And I cannot wait to see the next Planet of the Apes film, which will be a while, unfortunately, but I'm just super pumped for it after this grand movie. And I just hope my boys Andy Serkis and Caesar are in it. It really would be a shame if they're not. I'm just really curious to see what they'll do next. Like, what will the setting be? Will it be the war between, the apes and the humans? Like, how will it be a set? I'm really curious to see what they'll do with it. So guys, I think this will end my review. The next movie review I will do is Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a couple weeks away and set to come out pretty soon. And lastly, if you guys could please like and comment this video, really appreciate it. And please subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.